Hi there. In this video, I am going to show you how you can create a social media platform website like this one right here using Webflow, completely no code and in a matter of minutes. So I'll just show you a quick example here of me creating a new post. So first off, I'll just add in my content, and then I can also add in an image here. And then I can also select a hashtag. And then now if I press post, you'll see that I get redirected to the published page for my post. And then I can also upvote my own post. And then I can also go to other users' posts and comment on them. And then I can also navigate to the profile pages for other users and see their previous activity. So the cool thing about this solution is that you can adapt the design of every single element of your social media platform website inside of the Webflow designer. So you can change the styling of different elements. You can also change the layouts. So I'll just do that here. And then you can also add in custom interactions and icons. And really, this is just scratching the surface of what's possible. So the reason this solution only takes a few minutes to implement is because we will be starting from a template. So this just really speeds up the design and development process of creating a new social media platform website. And also the demo that I just showed you is actually the template we are going to be using for this tutorial. Now, before getting started, I just quickly wanted to highlight the stack we are going to use to enable this social media functionality. So first off, for the memberships and auth side of things, so auth meaning login, sign up, log out, etc. You can choose to use either Outseta or Memberstack. So in this demo I just showed you, I am actually using Memberstack and I'm currently logged in. And then now if I just go to my account area, as you can see, I can also update my profile and account details. And then when a user is logged in through one of these tools and then posts content, these details automatically get displayed with their content. Then the tool we are going to use to enable the content, social, and engagement side of the social media website is a tool called Supersparks. So for the demo that I just showed you, the post, the comment, and upvote that I just added were all powered by Supersparks. And then, of course, we are using Webflow for the design and development of the social media website. And then one last thing I wanted to highlight before getting started is that new posts are being generated through the Webflow CMS. So as you can see, a new CMS item has been created for the new post that I just created in the demo that I just showed you. And then if we just go to this collection template page for the posts collection, you'll see that this is where the new pages of content are being generated from. Okay, so let's get started. So the first step is to go to Supersparks website, which I will provide a link to in the description. And then once we're here, we're just going to go to the templates area of the website. And then we are just going to select the Webflow social media template. And then after doing that, we are just going to clone the template of whichever membership/auth tool you are planning to use for your social media website. So the steps for implementing Supersparks is identical for each one of these variations of the template. So for this demo, I'm just going to implement Supersparks on this Memberstack variation of the template. But if you are planning on using Outseta, you can still follow along. And at the very end, I will highlight how to implement each tool onto this template. So first off, I'm just going to click Clone Template, and then afterwards a new page should open up for the clonable inside of the Webflow showcase. So next, I am just going to click Clone in Webflow. And then after, I am just going to click Create Site. And then I'm just going to give it a name. So then I am just going to click Create a Site again. And then afterwards, I should be redirected to the Webflow designer for this cloned template. Okay, so next we are just going to jump back to Supersparks and then click Get Started for free. And then afterwards, the next step is to sign up to Supersparks if you haven't done so already. So I am just going to add my details and then click Create Account. And next, you should be redirected to this screen here where you will be asked to authorize Supersparks to your Webflow project. So I'm just going to select the Webflow project that I just cloned from the template, and then I'm just going to click Authorize App. And then after that's done, I can click Get Started. And then on the Webflow project that I just cloned and would like to enable the social media functionality on, I am just going to click Add Sparks. And then the next step is to select Activate a Template. And then from here, we should be able to select the template that we cloned this project from. And then we are just going to select, yes, I created this site from a template. So if you were thinking of adding this social media template to an established Webflow website, the process is a little bit different. So I will provide a link in the description that goes into more detail on how to do that. But the focus of this tutorial is how to create a new social media platform website from a template. So again, I'm just going to make sure that the first option is selected here and then press continue. And then I will just select the membership tool I am planning to use on this website. And since I cloned the Memberstack variation of the template for this example, I am just going to select Memberstack as my membership tool. But of course, if you're planning on using Outseta and cloned the Outseta variation of our template, just be sure to select Outseta. Okay, so now after selecting my membership tool, I'm just going to press continue. And this just highlights the different features that are going to be activated on this template. So next, I am just going to click Create Sparks to confirm this. And once that's done, the next step is to copy this code snippet and then just go to the site settings of the Webflow project that we just created. And then I will just go to the custom code area and then paste in this code snippet into the head code area for the site settings and click Save. Okay, so after doing that, I'm just going to publish these updates. And then if I just go back to Supersparks and then click Test Code and Continue, we should see confetti just confirming that the code snippet was installed correctly. Okay, so now that that's done, we can get started implementing Memberstack. So first off, inside of Memberstack, we're just going to sign up if you haven't done so already. And then once that's done, I am just going to create a new app. Just give it a name and click Create Application. And then the next step is to press Install Memberstack script and then copy this code snippet. And then again, we're just going to go back to the Webflow project and then just paste in this code snippet again inside of the head tag area and click Save and then Publish. Okay, so once that's done, we can get started testing. So first off, I'm just going to open up the Webflow project now that I've published. And then I can also just sign up here. So first off, I will just add my name. And then I'm just going to give myself a username. And then my email and password. And then I will just complete the sign up by clicking Let's Get Started. And then afterwards, I should be redirected to this page for completing the profile. So here I can add in my profile image and then also a bio. And then also add in my location. Okay, then now if I just click complete sign up, I should be able to test to see if the social posting functionality is working. So yeah, that looks good. So as you can see, my profile image and name is getting displayed with my content. Let's just check if commenting is working. So that looks good. It looks like upvoting is working as well. And then also it looks like I can also navigate to my own profile page and see all of my content history. So one thing that's not fully working is that some of the profile details and also the username is not being displayed with the user's content. And the reason for this is because these fields haven't been created inside of Memberstack yet. So by default, when you create a new app inside of Memberstack, it comes pre-installed with just the first and last name fields. So in order to enable this functionality, we're just going to go to the homepage on the Supersparks web app and then just go to the community posting Spark. So I will explain what Sparks are later on in the video, but if you just go to the memberships area of this community posting Spark and then just go to the username tab, you'll see that a custom field for username has already been pre-assigned here. So now if we just go back to Memberstack, what we can do is just create a new custom field for username by just copying from Supersparks the name of the pre-assigned field and then just pasting it into the custom field name here and then clicking Save Custom Field. So now if we just go back to our social media platform website and then refresh and then also just go to our account area, we can then see that the username that we provided during signup didn't actually save because there was no field for this yet. So now I can just add my username again and then click update account. And then now if I go to create another new post, just press post after selecting a hashtag. You'll see that this time the username gets displayed with my post and then also my comment. And then, as you can see, if I go to my own profile page, you'll see that the username is also now being displayed here. Okay, so you would also just repeat that same process for the other custom fields that come pre-installed in the template. So one for bio, so displaying the bio on the profile page. And then there's also a custom field slot dedicated to location, but you can change these to whatever you want. So I'll just show you quickly how to implement the one for bio. And then if you were interested in implementing a different field than location, I'll also just quickly show you how you can do that. Okay, so for the bio field, again, we're just going to copy this field that's pre-assigned in Supersparks, go back to Memberstack. Then again, we're just going to add in a new custom field and then paste in the field name from Supersparks and then click Save Custom Field. Okay, so now again, if we just go back to the account page and go to the profile area, again, you'll see that the bio that I provided while signing up is no longer there since this custom field wasn't implemented yet. So now that this is fixed, this won't happen again. All future signups, bios, and usernames will be saved correctly. So I'll just provide my bio again. Okay, so now if I just add another comment, and then go to my profile again, you'll see that the bio is now being displayed here. So you might have noticed that I had to add content in order to refresh the member details inside of the social media website. And that's because we haven't really added in any functionality to update Supersparks whenever a member updates their account or profile details. So in order to ensure that profile updates are reflected across users' content and also profile pages, you can configure this webhook here inside of Memberstack. So I will provide a link in the description that goes into more details on how to implement that. Okay, so that's pretty much everything I wanted to show you for the Memberstack implementation. So yeah, as you can see, pretty much every key auth component is pre-installed in this template. So updating the account and profile for users, also forgot password functionality. But if you would like to use different components from Memberstack's library, you can of course replace these and copy and paste in new ones. Okay, so now that that's done, we can get started implementing Outseta. So first off, just make sure you sign up, of course. So I'm already signed up, so I'm just going to log in here. So now that we're on the home page area of the Outseta web app, the next step is to go to the auth area and select sign up and log in. And then next, we are just going to make sure that the URL for our website is added to the login settings here. And then we're just going to click save. And then if we go to the auth area again, go to the embeds area, we're just then going to install this header script and then just go back to our Webflow project, back to the custom code area, and then I'm just going to paste in this code snippet from Outseta and click save and publish again. The next step is to set up the different auth embeds. So the way that this template is configured is to show these embeds in pop-ups. But if you were interested in having individual pages for each one of these, that's also possible in Outseta. But I'm just going to show you how to implement this with the pop-up functionality. Starting with the sign up pop-up link. So first off, I'm just going to copy this URL here and then just go to the Webflow project. And then I'm just going to add this to the different sign up call to actions. And then just add it as the URL for each one of these sign up call to actions. And then for the profile icon that shows while the user or visitor to the social media site is logged out, for this one, I'm also just going to add this to the link settings. So it should be this one right here. And I'm just going to paste in the sign up URL. So if a user tries to go to their profile page, the sign up pop-up embed is going to show up. Okay, then for the login link, I'm just going to repeat that process as well by adding it to this link element. So again, just copying and pasting this URL and adding it to the link settings for whatever element you would like to trigger the login pop-up. Okay, so now for the actual profile link. So this is where users would be able to update their name, username, bio, etc. What I'm just going to do is add it to this one here for the settings icon. If you wanted to add in a different icon, that's totally up to you. Okay, so now if I just go to the link settings, I'm just going to paste in the profile URL. Okay, so now for the logout link, what we're just going to do is copy this URL for the live version of our social media website and then paste it into here. So this is just the URL you would like users to be redirected to when they log out. And then I'm just going to copy this link and then go back to my Webflow project and then just go to the relevant element for logging out and then just add in this URL to the link settings here. Okay, so now if we publish, we should be able to do some basic testing here. Okay, so let's see this in action. So, well, one thing I forgot to add is the sign up link to this component here. So this is just blocking users that are logged out from posting content, this component here. So again, I'm just going to add the sign up link to this button here. And then publish again, or just make sure that that's saved. Okay, so now if I just go back to the live website and then refresh, I can now sign up, but I already have an account, so I'm just going to log in here. Okay, so now that I'm logged in, I can get started creating my first test post. Just give it a hashtag here. And as you can see, I get redirected to the published page for my post again, and then my profile image and name are automatically getting displayed with my content. Okay, then we can also test out commenting. Make sure that that's also working, so it looks good. Then also upvoting. And yeah, looks like this is all working. Okay, so you might notice that the username is not being displayed with my content. And that's because this member field has not been created yet inside of my Outseta account. So when Supersparks is installed, basically there are custom fields that are pre-assigned inside of the membership settings. So again, just from the home page, you can go to the community posting Spark and then go to the membership settings and then just go to the username tab. And here you can find the custom field that's pre-assigned with this template from Supersparks. So in order to enable this, we're just first going to copy this custom property from Supersparks and then go to Outseta and then go to the custom properties area and then just go to the person tab and then click add property. And then we're just going to paste this username custom property here and then click add. Then the next step is to add this as an input to the sign up form or profile update form. So when users are signing up or updating their profile details, they have the option to provide a username. So if we just go to the auth area and then go to sign up and log in, we can then make it so the username field is required when a user signs up. So definitely recommend making it required. And this is already implemented, but I also recommend adding a field for profile image and making it required to the sign up form. And then after adding this username field, we can then click save. And then in order to allow logged in users to be able to update their username on this profile update embed, what we're just going to do is go back to Outseta and then go to the profile area, and then we can add in the username field. So I already have a group here for the username. So inside of this group, I can then just add the username custom property that I just created and then click submit and then click save. And then once that's done, if I just go back to my live website and then refresh, and then just go back to the account area here and then just scroll down to the username area, I can then change my username to whatever I want. Okay, so now if I just go to create a new post, the username is now being displayed with my content. Okay, so now that the username is set up, in order to enable this functionality here where user's bio shows up on their profile page, if we just go to the custom field 2 slot, so custom field 1 is actually empty here, so you can make this whatever you want. But yeah, for the custom field 2 slot, it's dedicated to a field for the bio. So you would just follow the exact same steps here inside of Outseta of going to the custom properties, the person tab, and then just pasting in this pre-assigned custom property from Supersparks and then clicking add, and then just adding the bio field to the sign up form. You can make that one optional, saving, and then also repeating the same process for the profile area. So yeah, you can just make another group for the bio here and then add the bio field. And once that's implemented, users won't experience this issue where the username doesn't show up, since they will be providing it when they sign up. Okay, so now that the basics are in place, you can then get started adapting the design of your social media website. So as I touched on it earlier in the video, you can really let your imagination run wild and make your social media platform look however you want, and also customize the user experience. So you can just delete these components that are pre-installed with the template from the bottom of the page. You can also just delete this placeholder CMS item, so that's not needed. And yeah, as mentioned, you can adapt the design of different elements. So change the styling of the different buttons that are pre-installed. You can also change the navigation. And then, yeah, you can find all of the different pages you can adapt the design of inside of the page selector here. So one really key one that I mentioned earlier in the video is this posts collection template page. So this is where all of the post content is, and also the comment section. So yeah, again, you can adapt the styling, layout, icons here. And as you can see, there's interactions, for example, for enabling replies here. So yeah, I'm not going to go into too much detail on this because it's completely up to you how you would like to adapt the design of this template to match your brand or users' unique needs. But there is one thing I wanted to highlight, and that is how to change the hashtags. So the ones that are pre-installed are just kind of generic techie ones. But in order to add your own unique hashtags, what you can do is first off just delete the ones that aren't called hashtag here from the select input. And then what you can then do is just add in the hashtags that you would like users to be able to add. So one thing worth mentioning is that when a user selects a hashtag while creating a post, that hashtag is being referenced in another CMS collection. So as you can see on this post's CMS collection, there's a reference field for the topics collection. And then this is where all of the different hashtags / topics are. So what this is enabling is for users to be able to go to individual pages for each hashtag and to see all of the posts related to that topic / hashtag. So if we just go back to our Webflow project and take a look at the topics collection template page, this is where all of the posts for a certain topic / hashtag are being filtered. So if we just take a look at this collection list here, you'll see that there's a filter where hashtag reference equals current topic. Now that we've deleted all of the hashtags from this homepage new post form, we can also repeat that same process from this new post page. So this is just a page that's kind of acting as a pseudo pop-up, allowing users to basically access the new post functionality from anywhere on the page while they're scrolling down. But yeah, you can repeat that same process here by deleting all of the different hashtag choices. And then we can just go to the CMS collection for topics. We can then get started deleting these. But before doing that, just make sure that the test posts hashtag references are empty. So after doing that, we can just select all of these hashtags that are pre-installed with the template, delete them, and then next we can get started adding in our own unique ones. So let's maybe just make this a social media site for dogs. So the hashtags will be for different dog breeds. So let's do golden retriever And then you can make the slug anything you want. But yeah, I'll just make this golden dash retriever. And then we're just going to create that, publish it. And then now for the second one, I'll just add one for Pomeranian. Not sure if I'm spelling that right. And add a hashtag to the name. Okay, so now that that's done, I've published, I can then go back to my hashtag select inputs, and then I can add these new hashtags as options or choices. So first off, I will just add the one for golden retrievers. And then the next part is super important. So you have to make sure that the value for each individual hashtag matches up with the slug of its CMS item inside of the topics collection. So for golden retriever, we're just going to copy this slug here that we added for the CMS item. And then we're just going to go back to the select input and then paste this slug as the value for the golden retriever hashtag. And then I'm just going to repeat that same process for all of my additional hashtags. So for Pomeranian, I'm just going to copy this here, add it as a choice with a hashtag on the front, and then add the slug as the value. Okay, so then I would just also repeat that same process. You can also just paste this to make it a bit quicker, but I would also just add it to the homepage new post form. So after doing that and then clicking publish, we should be able to test this to make sure that this is working. Okay, so I'll just add a new post. Then just select it as the hashtag here and then click post. And as you can see, the hashtag gets added here. And if we just go to the CMS item for this newly created post, you'll see that the Pomeranian CMS item is being referenced inside of this new CMS item for the post. And then now if I just go to the Pomeranian hashtag page, you'll see that the post that I just created for it is being filtered on this page. And then if we just go to the golden retriever one, you'll see that my post isn't there. Okay, so before ending this video, I just quickly wanted to highlight a few additional features. The first one is the content dashboards. So basically all of the content that gets added to your social media platform site can be managed, moderated, and reviewed from the content dashboards. So as you can see, if this comment here that I just added was inappropriate, I don't know why it would be, but I can just delete it from the website and then also just see who posted this content and also just do the same thing for the different posts. So if I just go back to the page where I posted this comment and just take a look, you'll see that the comment is no longer visible. So one thing I touched on earlier in the video is the concept of Sparks. So basically Sparks are variations of Supersparks different apps. So the apps that come pre-installed with the template we used in this tutorial are for commenting, also for community posting. So that's the app that enables users to create new posts or pages of content, and then also upvoting. So since it's a pretty basic setup, there's only really one Spark for each app. But if you, for example, wanted to add an additional comment section to this page, you could do that by creating a new Spark. Or if you wanted to use the community posting functionality to allow users to create new pages of content for a different CMS collection. You could also create a new Spark for community posting. And then same thing for upvoting and favoriting. So if you wanted different types of reactions to posts, not just the heart/liking one. So if you wanted people to be able to react with a sad face or a clap, you could do that by creating new upvoting and favoriting Sparks by just clicking Add Sparks here and then going through the process of implementing each one. But you can also adapt the settings and also add new features to each one of these Sparks by just clicking on the different ones that come pre-installed with the template. So as you can see, it automatically goes to the settings here, and this is where you can add all sorts of different moderation settings and notification settings, and also presentation. So if we just go to the comment section one, you can also add different languages for the comment time, how the comments are ordered. And then you can also, again, set up webhooks, notifications, and make it so new content that gets added to your site needs to be manually approved inside of the content dashboard before being published to your live site. And then you can also find a bunch of additional optional features that aren't pre-installed with the template. So one notable one is enabling users to be able to delete their own posts. And then also inside of the memberships area, you can configure different membership related settings. So one we really recommend is this one here for enabling email notifications. So when a user's content gets responded to, they get notified by email. So this just ensures users come back to your website when their content gets responded to keep the conversation going and ensure that you have a vibrant and engaged community. And then I also encourage you to just watch this tutorial for enabling the settings for users to opt out of the different notification settings. And also, as I mentioned during the Memberstack section of this video, you can also configure a webhook. So when a user updates their profile details, those profile updates will be reflected across all of their content. And then, of course, we are really just scratching the surface of what's possible with Memberstack and Outseta. So there's a couple of things that are pre-installed with the template, such as gating features, so ensuring that only logged in members are able to post content. But if you were, for example, interested in making it so only paid subscribers are able to post content or even access certain pages of your social media site, you can configure all of this inside of Outseta and Memberstack. And I will provide links in the description to the different help centers of Outseta and Memberstack where you can explore their different additional features. Also, if you are interested in adding video capabilities, so as you can see in this example project, I just have this option to upload videos. And then once the video is uploaded and when I pressed post, you'll see that you get redirected to the published page for the post, and then the video is playable for this post. And then, as you can see, if we just go back to the home page, the video is also auto-playing inside of the collection list. So the file upload functionality is actually being powered by another third-party tool called FlowDrive. So I will provide a link in the description that goes into more detail on how to implement FlowDrive for this type of functionality, and then also a video player that can play video files from the CMS collection for posts. Okay, so that's pretty much everything I wanted to show you in this video. Do not hesitate to reach out if you have any questions, and thanks for watching. Take care. Bye.